Holy crap. I think we just witnessed the biggest video game flop of all time. Concord was a game made by Firewalk Studios and published by Sony. I say was because Sony just announced that after only 2 weeks of being out, they were shutting the game down and refunding everyone. The game sold an estimated 25,000 copies, and while it was also on PlayStation, it only hit a Steam concurrent user peak of 660 players. So to everyone that always cries dead game about other online games, we now know a little bit better where that line actually lands. And this isn't some small indie game that isn't expected to sell more than 10,000 copies. This is a Sony published game. While some people estimate $100 million cost, we don't actually have a public number, but you know it wasn't cheap. What's even more insane is that the game was reportedly in development for 8 years. 8 years for 2 weeks of play. Star Citizen just got a hall pass. Now, my mind immediately thinks of the devs who put so much time into this project for it to fail so quickly. Imagine working on something for 8 years, only for no one to really care about it and then for it to disappear after 2 weeks. That's insane to me. I wonder if they saw it coming though with the $40 price tag. The game is a hero shooter and it's competing with other hero shooters, a lot of which are free to play. With a lot of competition in the market from even one of the OGs like Overwatch, you have Deadlock, which is a MOBA that has those hero shooter elements, and Marvel Rivals on its way. It definitely isn't an easy market to get into, and especially because the trend of the market is, unfortunately, that if you want a live service game, it has to be free to play. Now, I only say unfortunately because obviously free things are good, but free games generally mean predatory microtransactions, which are not good for anybody. But on that note, I genuinely wonder why a free-to-play model wasn't even tried. Instead, Sony just opting to shut it down. I guess maybe Reputation felt like it was unrecoverable, or if you want to get conspiracy, there's a good chance Sony knew it would fail and needed to write off some losses for the year. I'm pretty sure we've seen some other developers and publishers do this. Ubisoft. But I genuinely cannot think of a larger flop in video game history. While there have been other flops, has anything been this long of a development time for this quick of a shutdown? Let me know if there's any others here I may miss, but in recent years, you think immediately to games like Starfield, but I couldn't really call that a flop, just underwhelming. Cyberpunk? That was less of a flop than just a company treating its players like crap. It sold over 25 million copies, a far cry from the word failure. No Man's Sky, sure, while disappointing, has had one of the biggest redemption arcs ever and is still going to this day. I think some of the games that maybe sort of do come close would be Anthem or Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers came out back in 2017, which sold about 100,000 copies on a $10 to $40 million budget. And just after months of release, its player base dropped to about 100 concurrent players. But still, it lasted for over a year, only being shut down in September of 2018. Anthem, launched in 2018, had a budget of about $100 million and was in development for 7 years. So it's a little more comparable to Concord. But it sold about 6 million copies and only had its support dropped in 2021, giving it a 3-year lifespan. Albeit an unhealthy 3-year life, but longer than Concord. Remember how tragic of a flop Anthem felt like. Now remember Concord lasted 2 weeks. I could keep listing games, but none of them really hit this same level of flop. Fallout 76, Battleborn, or even going back to the massive flop of E.T. the Extraterrestrial, there were a lot of big failures. List some more, as I said, in the comments below that come to your mind. Ultimately, I don't like seeing games fail. People put a hard work into these things, and to see something fizzle out so fast definitely hurts all the people who put their love into making the game, and to the people that were enjoying it. All 18 of you. But man, is this going to be a hard record to beat. I imagine analysts will be looking at this one for quite some time. As a Star Citizen fan, I just hope we don't take the title in the years to come. On that, this was a step away from my usual Star Citizen content. Let me know if I should try more of this or stick to my lane. Either way, go watch this video where I explain how no other game can do what Star Citizen does. Thanks for watching!